In a dark room, a woman screams as she gives birth while tied up. After minutes of pain, a deformed baby is born. A mysterious man checks on the baby, then kills the mother. This nightmare began 2 years ago, when a family driving through the desert stumbled upon a military zone called Sector 16. By the next day, half of them were dead. Weeks later, the U.S. Army sent a team to investigate the disappearances. Now in the present, military leaders send another team to install electronic monitors in the area. The purpose is classified. To test the system, Technician Han sets up dummy dolls inside an old mine, which might be used as a hidden meeting spot. Dr. Wilson watches everything from the control room using a heat scanner. He notices some connections failing, and just as something strange appears on the screen, the monitor shuts off. Han checks the power box, finds the wires burnt, and he blames rats. On a nearby hill, Dr. Foster sets up his gear and tries to radio Wilson, but gets no reply. He then tries Han. Unaware, Han lies dead in the mine, brutally murdered with his guts out. When Foster turns, he sees a mutated man eating a snake. He tries talking to him, but the mutant seems more curious about his bag zipper. Then the man starts growling. At first, Foster can't tell what he's saying until he hears it clearly: run away. But it's too late. Another mutant attacks and kills him from behind. Hearing the screams, Colonel Redding goes searching for Foster. Suddenly, a mutant stabs him with a rod and throws him down a hill. Meanwhile, a group of soldiers is caught in intense gunfire. One of them, Spitter, drops his helmet and runs back for it, ignoring his team's warnings. A mine explodes near Crank and throws him across the ground. An enemy yells insults about their motherland, so Crank rushes out of hiding to chase him. His teammates think he's lost it, but follow anyway. They toss grenades through a door, and the blast knocks them back. A baby doll lands beside them, followed by a crying mother. Napoleon tries to calm her, but she reveals grenades under her clothes, revealing this was just a training drill, not a real war. It was just a drill, but the real mission? Making sure you stick around for what happens next, so hit subscribe before the mutants do. Later, Sergeant Jeffrey yells at the team for being reckless. He informs them they'll head to Sector 16 to deliver supplies to scientists. It's a classified mission, allowing no talking to outsiders or wandering off. As they approach Sector 16, the team recalls it was once used for nuclear tests and fears the land is radioactive. But Jeffrey assures them the higher-ups said it's safe. During the ride, their usual teasing turns into a heated fight, and Crank nearly throws someone off the truck until others step in. When they arrive at the scientist camp, it's completely deserted. The radios are silent, and they don't realize someone is watching from behind nearby rocks. Crank opens a mine door and bats fly out, startling him. They find a satellite phone, but it's been smashed. Suddenly, their truck radio picks up a message from a man calling for help from a hill. Before he can give more info, the signal cuts out. Then they see a flashing signal mirror from that hill, and Jeffrey orders a rescue mission. Napoleon warns they should contact base first, but Jeffrey ignores him and punishes him, forcing him to guard the bathroom on one leg. As the group heads out, Jeffrey sees Amber flirting and tells her to stay behind and keep trying the radio. She obeys and is surprised to hear a faint hello, but nothing more. Up the hill, Mickey accidentally falls into a hidden hole. The team rushes to pull him out just in time. A rock thrown down reveals it's deep, maybe 100 meters or 100 years old. With a hurt ankle, Mickey is sent back to camp. Meanwhile, Napoleon enters the bathroom but hears strange noises. A hand suddenly grabs his leg from the toilet. He runs out screaming. Amber doesn't believe him and checks, only for a full arm to emerge from the waist. Both scream as a man climbs out, begging for help. It's Wilson, covered in strange cuts. He whispers, "They're here," and dies. Napoleon realizes someone sliced him to die slowly from infection. They clean up and try the radio, but it's still dead. Then they see smoke and find their truck has been set on fire. Amber notices her rifle is missing and decides to go find the others, while Napoleon stays behind. Just steps into the desert. Amber hears a sound and is attacked by a mutant. She fights back, but is overpowered and thrown down. She strikes it with a rock, but it slashes at her with a blade. As she dodges, a shot hits the mutant. It's Mickey, hiding in the rocks. The mutant flees by diving into a mine hole. Suddenly, another hand reaches from a hole and grabs Mickey's ankle, dragging him. Amber tries to pull him out, but the grip is too strong. She grabs her gun, but can't shoot because Mickey's body blocks the entire hole. Napoleon arrives and tries to save Mickey, but it's too late. As the rocks crush Mickey's leg, his body is bent and squeezed into the hole until it vanishes. Elsewhere, Delmer is sent to climb a tall rock to continue the search. He nearly slips, but reaches the top safely. Meanwhile, Missy checks a message from her son and gets startled when someone taps her shoulder. It's just her teammates saying they're moving out. After walking for a while, they spot a shoe on a rock, then find Foster's body with his wallet jammed into a head wound. Worried, Spitter tries contacting camp, but no one replies. Eventually, Redding answers, but only says one sentence before the call cuts. Missy points out the voice wasn't the same as before. As they move on, strange noises echo from the rocks. Suddenly, a mutant attacks Spitter, hitting his backpack. Spitter fires back, and the mutant escapes to a hilltop, hurling a rock at him. In panic, Spitter keeps shooting and accidentally hits Jeffrey. The team rushes to help, but Jeffrey dies. Amber and Napoleon arrive and break the news about Mickey. They wrap Jeffrey's body and begin heading back. Delmer spots someone moving in the rocks, but avoids confrontation. When they start climbing down, Spitter goes first with the body. All goes fine, until the rope snaps. He falls to his death. Crank blames Napoleon for a bad knot, but Delmer notices the rope was cut. Then they realize all their spare ropes are missing. The team looks for a safe way down, but only finds dead ends. Hearing a noise, they follow it and discover Redding, barely alive. They try to help, but he laughs and snaps at them. Suddenly, they hear distant screams and prepare to shoot. Turning around, they see Redding standing with a gun. He reveals that mutated humans live in the mines, changed by past radiation. These mutants kill men, but keep women for breeding. When the team asks how to escape, Redding responds by blowing himself up. Later, Missy shows Amber a video of her son. Just then, a mutant appears behind them. Missy shouts, "Now," revealing it's a trap. The group opens fire and kills it. Afterward, Missy steps behind a rock to relieve herself, unaware a camouflaged mutant is right there. He grabs her, and her screams alert the team. They chase him and see the mutant dragging her into the mines. They follow the monster inside. Inside, Stump decides this is a mistake. He leaves to get help while the others continue, unaware someone is watching. They reach a dead end and find Missy's phone. Using flashlights, they spot metal sheets covering a tunnel. Delmer slides down, kicks through the rocks, and reaches a lower level. Seeing it's safe, the others follow. Amber panics when a spider lands on her, but makes it through. Meanwhile, Stump heads down the hill and hears strange noises. Rocks fall around him as he nervously dodges them. Shaken, he decides to climb down without using a rope. The path is dangerous, so Stump moves carefully. Halfway down, he finds a tunnel and calls out for Delmar, but no one answers. As he turns to leave, a mutant appears and slashes his hand, making him fall to his death. Inside the mine, the team follows a breeze and finds a hole in the wall. Looking out, they see their dead teammates, realizing this is where the rope had been cut. The next tunnel is flooded, making the ground impossible to see. Amber quietly saves a bullet in her pocket in case she needs to end things herself. She accidentally steps into a pit, and when Napoleon grabs her, he falls too. The water drains out, and Crank and Delmer confirm they're okay. With no other option, they continue in two separate groups. Below, the mutant hides with Missy before they can spot him. Delmer and Crank find their path blocked by another gap. Crank tries to leap across and barely holds on. As he slips, Delmer jumps too, lands safely, and helps pull Crank up. They use a wooden beam on this side to descend. Napoleon and Amber find Stump's headband, and suddenly his severed hand drops near them. A mutant sneaks up, and Napoleon fires, but misses every shot and runs out of bullets. The mutant lunges, but Amber bursts one of his eyes. He grabs her by the neck, but Napoleon bashes his head in with a rock until he dies. Just then, a blind mutant appears in the tunnel. The two move back slowly, trying not to make noise. As the creature sniffs them out, they fall through a hatch. A friendly mutant closes it and tells them they're safe. Soon, Crank and Delmer reach the same tunnel, but their voices alert the blind mutant, who opens fire. Delmer gets hit, and Crank quickly returns fire, killing the creature, though both are now out of bullets. Napoleon opens the hatch and brings them in. The friendly mutant leads them through a secret passage to a horrifying room filled with bodies, body parts, and victim belongings. Human limbs hang from hooks and are stuffed into fridges and grinders. Amber screams when she finds Mickey's corpse. Delmer collapses, dies in Crank's arms, leaving him shocked that Delmar hid he had been shot twice. The group moves on, dragging his body. At the entrance, they find the door stuck. Amber wants to go back for Missy, but Crank says she's probably already dead. Then he spots dynamite behind a wooden door and starts tearing it open. The mutant warns them not to touch anything and runs off. Ignoring the warning, Amber heads to find Missy, and Napoleon follows. Crank enters the room, grabs a box of dynamite, and unknowingly triggers a wire. The explosion is massive, collapsing debris on Napoleon and Amber as they return to find Crank dead. Meanwhile, the big mutant ties Missy to a bed as her screams echo through the mines. Hearing her, Napoleon and Amber move through a new tunnel opened by the explosion and find the army's hidden meeting room. As Napoleon approaches the table, a mutant disguised as a dummy attacks. After some kicks, he jumps on Amber, but Napoleon slashes him with a knife. Amber finishes him off by stabbing him with her gun. They continue on and spot the big mutant with Missy through wooden planks. Amber places Missy's phone in another room and plays a video to lure the mutant away. While he investigates, they rush in and free Missy, but before escaping, the mutant smashes back through the wood. He tackles Napoleon and grabs Missy, slamming her into the ground. Amber fires her last bullet into his head, but it only removes part of his brain. The mutant attacks again, choking Amber. Napoleon stabs him with a rod to hold him still, while Amber shoves her fingers into his brain wound until he collapses. Missy, furious, kicks the mutant, but he suddenly grabs her ankle and reaches for a knife. Napoleon grabs an axe, stopping him in time. Amber helps free Missy, who then grabs a hammer and smashes the mutant's groin. Finally, Napoleon finishes him by shoving a gun in his mouth and firing. At last, the trio escapes, but the missing soldiers are never accounted for and are labeled AWOL. Sector 16 remains a secret, monitored by someone still watching from a radar screen, and the movie ends here.